This is the plaintiff, Constance Weaver. She says she's been renting a house for 15 years from the defendants, and she's come to find out they've been stealing her electricity by including a garage, which is on the property that she has no access to. She feels they owe her $20 of stolen electricity for 14 years and 10 months. They've ignored her requests for payment in the amount of $3,680, and she has no choice but to sue. These are the defendants, Eugene and Maria Johnson. Eugene says there's nothing electrical in the garage, no lights inside or out, no electric door, nothing. The plaintiff has no proof they're stealing her electricity. They don't owe her a dime and think the judge will agree. They're accused of juicing a tenant.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says she's been renting a house from the defendant for 15 years, and the defendant's been stealing from her because she's been charging her for electricity for a garage she doesn't have access to. But the defendant says there's nothing electrical in the garage. Come on. It's the case of Go Fly a Kite.
Okay, Ms. Weaver, how long have you been living in the Johnsons', is it a house?
It's a house.
Okay,
yes.
How long have you been living there?
A little over 15 years.
Okay, and you're suing them because according to you, you have recently discovered what?
That a electrical wiring is leading from my meter through my house into their garage. And I had called the power company to find out whether or not I was actually connected to the garage and whether I was paying for that. And they told me that they couldn't tell me, but I could check it myself.
And did you?
Yes.
Have you been in the garage?
I have never been inside.
All right, the garage is not part of your lease, correct?
No.
Like you folks specifically held the garage so you could use it for what? Storage?
Storage.
Okay. And is it filled with things?
Yes.
Yeah. And is there a light in there?
No.
How could there not be a light in the garage? How do you?
That's just, we never needed a light.
Well, it's a
we go
garage.
in-
Are there windows in the garage or something? How do you not need light in there?
Could be, we lift the garage door and there's plenty light. We go in through in the daytime.
Do you have pictures of the garage so I can see what you're saying is true? So how did you test whether or not there was wiring going to the garage?
The power company said the next time the garage is accessed, shut off the power. So I did that on July 9th. The defendants and an AT&T worker showed up. They went to the back of the house because the garage is at the back of my house and slightly to the left. My daughter was in the kitchen doing some work. She saw them come back there. I went to the kitchen. She says, I think they're putting up fiber optic wires back there. And she said that means maybe a camera or something going up. So at that point, she had started taking photos of what was going on out back.
And do the photos show that there's any electricity there, or do they show an AT&T
no,
man?
It shows
What do the photos show?
It shows
Come
the
on up. You're the daughter?
AT&T
Apparently you're front and center on this, at least in their estimation.
Yes, she
Because they didn't
is.
have problems there until you came on the scene. What I don't understand is, do you live there?
Yes.
You do live there. And did you give her authority to live there?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so go ahead.
And I also took a video of the wiring where it goes from our house to the garage, and a picture, a video of our box and a video of the garage.
AT&T cable on the ground. AT&T workman with cable at back of garage. AT&T man installing wiring. Okay. AT&T man working with wiring over the garage. Okay. Do you have a separate meter for the garage?
No.
What was the AT&T man in all these photos doing?
He was installing communication cable to install cameras in the garage.
Wi-Fi. In order to have the cameras in the garage.
You're right.
Okay. And who was going to pay the electricity for that little wiring?
Electricity wasn't involved. We were just preliminary work.
How is the camera going to work without electricity?
That was like a 4-month out project we were going to do.
It can't work without electricity, right?
Right.
Right. Do you have a separate meter on the garage?
Separate meter on the garage. There's no electricity to the garage.
Now, you said you had a video you wanted me to see.
It's just a video of where the wiring is connected
Is
to
this
our
the wiring
house.
that AT&T man put up?
No.
This is the wire.
Hold
This is
on,
the original.
please. I'm asking you, is this the wiring that AT&T man put up or something else?
No, it is not. That is the original wiring that leads from our house to the front of that garage.
There's definitely wiring that goes to the garage that's not from the AT&T man because it's painted the original color.
Right.
So what do you mean right? You just told me there wasn't electrical heading to the garage, but there is.
No, I told you it wasn't, the AT&T man was not
Okay,
installing.
listen to me. Is there electrical heading to the garage?
Sure,
Oh, why did you say that you don't have any electricity in the garage?
because there's no juice in there.
Is there, let's break this down. Is there electrical wiring going to the garage?
Yes,
And that electrical wiring doesn't have its own separate meter?
no,
So that electrical wiring then, if electricity was used in the garage, would always be on their bill.
right.
But you are saying, comma, there are no electrical appliances and/or light bulbs or anything else in the garage. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
So, you had pictures you want me to see of the garage.
And Your Honor, I'm also the person that turned off the power when the man was installing it, and I overheard
And then
them.
what happened?
I turned off the power to the whole house, and it shut off the power in their garage while he was trying to install this thing. And I
Did you
overheard
guys have
them.
some other fight? Some other war? There has to have been,
Well,
because this can't
we
be
don't-
over,
no, this is not our
over that,
first.
because this is the kind of thing that a tenant says to a landlord, hey, you've been using the electricity. I know you guys just use this for storage. You don't turn the light on much.
Excuse
Yeah.
me,
If
Your
at
Honor.
all, or there's no, but, you know, you guys should be giving us a discount on the electricity or the rent in order to account for us. You know, this is the kind of thing people work out, especially after 15 years there. Because are you in the, do you have a lease?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's rent stabilized. How long does your lease go on?
It's just been going on. The last lease I signed was 2011.
How long is the lease for?
And
Month to month.
it's month to
Oh,
month.
she's month to month? Do the rent stabilization laws in California prevent you from giving her 30 days notice and telling her she has to leave?
Yes.
They do. What kind of notice do you have to give?
Well, it's a 30-day notice, but you have to have cause.
You have to have cause. And
Yeah.
somebody calling you a thief isn't cause?
Not in their words.
Yeah, maybe not. So what do you say? I am looking at a garage that, and it's a pretty good wide picture. I don't see light overhead. Do you have pictures that show that there's an electrical appliance in there that might have been drawing power?
So they have had workmen on the property multiple times because the house had old pipes and things had to be dug up.
All right.
But I've
so
seen
the question
multiple-
becomes, there are workmen who have occasionally worked there.
Yeah, not just occasionally. There was a period of time where because they had their roof replaced on the garage, and they had, of course, the workmen had to plug in. So they were there for days replacing this garage, and they were plugged into that garage. I saw cords coming out of the garage.
And what's your response to
that were plugged into that garage.
We had roof replaced on the entire 4 structures there.
Yeah, including the garage, right?
Right.
Okay. And so were they tapping into the electricity?
They couldn't because they had their own generator.
Can you prove that?
I just called and asked why didn't they use electricity there, but they had access.
I'm sorry, because I've had so much work done in my house.
Yeah.
And do you know what's never happened? People who are working on my house bringing their own generator, unless there was a massive hurricane and I had no power.
Right.
That is the only time they bring their own generator. They are uber happy to just stick the plug in your
Well, what they
electricity.
told me is that they needed 240
Just proof to me. I don't want to hear hearsay. Do you have proof that they brought their own generator?
No, I don't.
So should this plaintiff get a rebate?
I think she should have read the papers. She should have to pay the electricity bill.
So if it says electricity, you pay all the electricity, period.
She should have thought of that, yeah.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
So what evidence do you have that you're entitled to? How much did you ask for? $3,680 of all things. Go ahead.
I just decided that $20 a month was reasonable.
But where did you get that
for-
figure?
Out of my head, Your Honor. If you wanted, you know, whatever, it came from my head. I just said $20 seemed to me to be a fair
Right,
price.
but let's analyze what we're talking about. How am I going to arrive at a figure?
This property has had many problems in terms of things that need to be repaired, and every single time there's a repair person, which is pretty much every month, there's somebody on this property using the electricity in that garage.
Don't let them.
In the garage. I mean, she can close the garage.
We're gonna solve that now.
Yeah. So
We're
I'm
gonna
just talking
solve that
about
now.
in
That's
the past,
gonna be
what's-
the end result of
yeah,
this.
That's
okay?
what's been happening.
Right, is that you guys need to have an electrician come out there and cap the electricity. Cut the electricity off. Okay?
We will.
That's what we need to do. Is there a
will.
problem with that?
No,
Okay,
Excuse me.
yeah.
They were supposed to disclose that there was a shared utility
Absolutely.
in writing.
Right.
This-
And what
they
are your
have
damages
never-
when that happens?
They have never done that.
Okay.
They've never
And so
spoken
that's
to
fine, but
me.
now I need you to listen to me.
Yes.
When there are two things you have to prove when you come to court. One is they wronged you. They wronged you. The second one, which is what you're having trouble with, is, and they wronged me to the tune of X. The best you can tell me is that when, well, there have been lots of workmen there and they always hook up. What proof do you have of that? Zip. Okay? So the best I can do for you is to make sure that as a result of this case, that electrical is cut off from here on in. And I'm going to want to see proof of that. How long do you need to handle that?
As soon as we get back.
I'm going to give you a week and a half. There should be plenty of time to get home, hire an electrician, have them come, and have them take care of business. Okay?
And send you a picture? Or?
Absolutely.
Your Honor, can you?
Okay? So, all right. That is my verdict. That is how we're resolving this case. Good luck, folks.
Okay, so the defendant followed the judge's orders, had an electrician come, cut the electricity off, so case closed.